Om Arunachala Shiva. Welcome to Arunachala Musings. Vikalpo Vinivarteta Kalpito Yadi Kenachit Updeshadayam Vado Gyate Dvaitam Na Vidyate. This 18th Karika from the first chapter of Mandukya Karika continues the theme that was discussed in the previous Karika. The 17th previous Karika said that Prapancho Yadi Vidyeta Nivarteta Na Sanshayaha Maya Matramidam Dvaitam Advaitam Paramarthata. Essentially, it says that the absolute reality of God or the Self or Brahman alone exists, and the manifold universe experienced by the souls and the variety of objects is only imagined. That is the crux of the 17th Karika. The same point is further elaborated in this 18th Karika, which says Vikalpo Vinivarteta Kalpido Yadi Kenachit. If somebody imagines himself along with his body-mind complex and other souls with their body-mind complexes and the universe with diverse forms, if somebody imagines that, then for such ignorant souls, there is also the scriptures, the teacher, the student, the guru, shishya, the relationship between the teacher and disciple, and the teaching, etc. exists. But that does not exist when the non-duality of the absolute reality, non-dual nature of the absolute reality is realized. That is gyate dvaitam na vidyate. If the absolute reality is gyate, that is realized, then dvaitam, the duality of teacher and student and the scriptures, teaching, all this duality does not exist. So this Karika is in short extension of the previous one with the same theme but specifically applied to Guru Shishya Parampara, the student and teacher relationship. That duality also does not exist in the absolute reality. That is stressed here. This point is particularly stressed because even if the worldly aspect of duality is negated, a spiritual aspirant is attached to the Guru who gives him spiritual knowledge. But in the highest reality, even that relationship does not exist. We have to remember here that the verses in Mandukya Karika are expounded from the absolute reality perspective as the negation of all duality of subject-object, whether pertaining to the worldly transaction or the spiritual pursuit or a relationship between Guru and Shishya. These are deprecated from the highest perspective of the Brahman, which alone exists. Otherwise, in the phenomenal world, in the world of subject-object duality, the spiritual pursuit, sadhana, or the Guru-Shishya relationship, the relationship between the student and teacher, is certainly higher than the worldly transaction of sense pleasure and running after money and other sensory pleasures. In this regard, it is good to remember the distinction made between Maya by Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna says that we can say there are two kinds of Maya. One is Vidya Maya and another is Avidya Maya. Avidya Maya is that which deludes the jiva with selfishness, with me and mine, my body, my wife, my children, my property, my disciple, or my ashrama, or how famous I am. So all that selfishness pertaining to me and mine is Avidya Maya. Avidya is ignorance. Vidya Maya or knowledge Maya is where the spiritual aspirant renounces selfishness and pursues spiritual practices with the attitude that I am the child of God and develops devotion to Guru and God. This is also in the domain of Maya, in the subject-object duality, but it is termed as Vidya Maya, that is the higher aspect of Maya. And above this is the plane from which all subject-object duality is negated. And from that absolute point of view, here in this Karika, even the relationship between Guru and Shishya is deprecated. So, keeping this in mind, a spiritual aspirant should steadily move towards the highest reality. Om Tat Sat.